is Pedro Chilambe. I work with the Alliance of Biodiversity International in CIAT, part of the CGIAR, and I work within the Climate Action Team as a project lead on climate readiness. So the Adaptation Atlas is a decision support tool that brings together data into a very, very simple format that both policymakers and those designing investments for the agriculture sector can actually use to develop both their national and subnational policy documents, but also investments and project proposals for agriculture adaptation. So today we are here supporting an ASARECA workshop under their CADAP Pillar 4 project, in which we are training their different stakeholders in terms of the use of the Adaptation Atlas for several use cases within the policy space and adaptation finance space.
We are trying to get information into the hands of decision makers and to simplify what is a very long and expensive and time-consuming process along the way. So the challenge we face is there's a vast amount of climate data out there. There's a vast amount of scientific publications, data sets that are petabytes in size, taking up like huge amounts of storage, requiring technical specialists and scientists to analyze. Our job is to try and take the evidence from the scientists to simplify it into forms that are digestible and usable by decision makers. We're trying to connect the science to the decision maker. And why are we trying to do that? It's to enable access to finance primarily. There are resources and finances available internationally to support climate adaptation, to help people respond to drought, to heat stress, to climate shocks and stresses that are affecting farmers across the continent year.
Very recently, Togo got a project from the World Bank in which analyses from the Adaptation Atlas helped the government to assess climate risks, understand the risks that are faced by different value chains within the country, but also understand the value of production at risk from the forecasted and projected climate scenarios.
My name is Julianne Baronji. I'm the program officer in charge of policy at ASARECA, and I also manage the ICRA project under which this stakeholder consultative meeting is being organized. At ASARECA, we appreciate that agriculture plays a key role in the food security in Eastern and Central Africa, and we know that with the emergence of climate change, the effects of climate change are undermining agricultural productivity and food security within the region. And even when our scientists have gone ahead to innovate and develop climate-smart agriculture technologies, we find that many of the farmers have not adopted these technologies for various reasons. Some of them are not aware of these technologies. They cannot afford the technologies, they're not able to access them, but also they don't know what the importance of these technologies. So we have come up with the Climate Smart Agriculture Scaling Strategy to basically put in place a guiding framework that systematically guides how we scale climate smart agriculture and ensure that the climate-smart agriculture technologies and innovations are widespread among majority of the farmers within Eastern and Central Africa.
So my name is Kwampak Sidoni Gwet, and I'm the Regional Investment Lead at the Global Green Growth Institutes for Africa, and I'm currently based in Kigali, Rwanda. I happen to manage a program with the main objective to increase access climate finance, specifically for adaptation for the agricultural institutions across Africa. And as part of that program, we have been supporting several agricultural institutions, including ASARECA, to get access to climate finance for adaptation with the ultimate aim to support our farmers to be more resilient. At the Global DGI, as we really believe in partnerships, we decide to design that program, bringing partners already having the same interest in order to support those farmers. Because yes, at the Global DGI institutes, we have expertise, but we also know that we are not doing everything ourselves, right? So we start asking who can we bring as well in the partnership. And this is how we end up discussing and bringing partners such as the CGIAR, especially with these specific tools that we call the Atlas, that they were able to design to support policies, but also mostly when it comes to climate finance, building the rationale for climate. Because when it comes to mobilizing resource for climate finance, you need to actually build the rationale of what about you are trying to solve when it comes to the climate issue, right? Which kind of climate technologies, climate smart agriculture solution you are bringing, because this is what we are investing into. We don't invest in, let's say, normal type of agricultural project, but we invest in innovations that will help ultimately the farmers to be more resilient. And the Atlas tool is really one of such tools that help us to really collect data that exists. So it's just the beginning of several campaigns to ensure that this tool is known, that we appropriate it to ourselves, and that we use it really to build the case in order to go and find that funding that we need to develop and to ensure that the farmers can, improve their resilience to climate change.